So, hello, folks, and welcome to Fair. My name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the creator of this indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth, where all the creatures and folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. When last we left our heroes, they were having a very relaxing evening, going for romantic strolls in the Champs Elysees, eating pain au chocolat, getting hassled to buy roses from street vendors. It was quite delightful, really. But enough about
I want
me.
some pan of chocolate.
I'm going to ask one of our players to give us a recap of her last session.
Can I?
Yeah.
So we continued to fight the Baron. A couple of the party members got severely cold feet. Primarily Gwen, who ran away. Aminata, who froze and didn't know what the fuck to do. And the rest of the party rallied and kicked some serious fucking ass. We killed the Baron's butler, which was beautiful. That was all on Tito. And then our squishy managed to take the last hit to the Baron, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was chef's kiss. It really was. And now we are about to loot the fuck out of this rich ass corpse.
Okay, so yeah, 1d8 inspiration die, and we are returning to that scene. Annalise, you slowly start climbing down from the balcony, where you had been positioned in your sniper position, and the rest of the group coming through. Josephine doesn't climb through the window; she just blinks. She's not going to climb. She just blinks and appears beside the body of the Baron. Okay, and turns to Justine and says, Justine, you of all of us have done the most research on these creatures. What should we do?
We should burn the body to the ground.
Okay. I wish Gwyn were here.
Yeah, our friendly pyromaniac, she would be able to do this very well.
Where is Gwyn?
She left, but I thought she had gone to you, Josephine. I assumed that she had gone to...
I do not know where she is. She was still in her cat form when she ran. But
what I thought had happened was that she had gone out and gone to you for comfort or something.
And you see Josephine gesturing as she's casting a spell on the body of the Baron. He says, Mon Dieu, there are quite a number of exceptionally powerful magical items on his body. Quite a number.
Okay, well
he's not going to be using them.
We should. Well, let's just.
I feel they are well earned, as I note.
Yes, and she saw. You see, he's wearing 3 rings. Okay, one ring. Excuse me. Damn it. Apologies. The bloody hell is it? Sorry, folks. Sorry. Here we go. One is a fine silver banded ring, with like little fragments of obsidian set into it. Okay. The next, it's funny. It looks somewhat plain. It's a simple band. Okay, but that appears to be made of ivory. Okay. And then the third ring is a golden ring in the shape of like a dragon coiled around a beautiful red ruby. Okay. So she slips those 3 rings off of his fingers, and you see that he had this. It's like a ring made of silver wire, like knitted together. Okay.
Yeah, we saw the ring come out of that, or the sword come out of that.
And you did see him reach his hand through the opening of that ring and pull his sword out, which is, by the way, on the floor a couple of meters away. Okay.
Okay.
So she unclips that, and then reaching into his pocket, she pulls out what is clearly a mana receptacle, and she puts all these to the side, and then she goes, "Okay, so."
I could use my druid craft to make something dry.
Or we could bring him
leaves.
back to my house, and I could put him in the furnace in my laboratory.
Oh, that works also.
Do we know how long it will take for him to
Regenerate? No. So, Mina, can you chop his head off, please? And Mina comes up with Albert and just.
Yeah, that will slow him down.
That should slow him down, I would hope.
And there was something else about the stakes through the heart. Is there wood around?
Aminata is going
Wooden
to find a
pews.
big pew.
Yeah.
And
Well, there is a broken pew because remember, Josephine picked up the pew
and threw it
threw it
at him.
at him like a boss. So,
Sylvia's
yes.
gonna run over and grab one and be like,
Mhm.
Yeah, effectively.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, like you will see that there's like tears kind of rolling down their face, and they look furious, like so mad.
So when you drive the stake through his heart, blood starts just gushing out from the wound. It's really gross. Lots of blood.
Well, Aminata's not scared of blood. They're going to just
No,
kind
there's
of.
lots of blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're gonna see. Oh, okay.
Yeah, lots of blood.
like in Dracula when Mina's
okay.
friend.
It's not gushing everywhere, but it's
it's
pouring up out of the body.
Too much.
But like when
it's-
Mina's friend got staked in
Yeah, it's more blood than his
Dracula.
body should be able to hold.
Exactly, yeah.
Levels of blood. Okay, Aminata is just going to, because Aminata will be on their knees beside him. They're literally just going to be staring at this, and the blood is going to start soaking into their dress,
Oh, nice,
and they're going to say, "His sword."
so this is just over there. I've sent a message to Jerome. He will be with us in a moment.
have you
if-
something to protect the upholstery of your carriage?
There's always blankets in my carriage. Always. It's okay. But thank you for your concern. It is quite nice upholstery. There's also a luggage case on the back of the carriage. Jerome can put the body in there.
Oh well, I'd be a bit anxious to let his corpse out of our sight.
We can keep the head in the carriage with us.
Okay, that is some relief.
She's very matter of fact about all this. Very matter of fact.
Well, Sylvia is very, very, very accustomed to seeing dead mangled bodies, so she's kind
exactly, yeah. So,
it is what it is.
Annalise, how are you doing?
Not great. She's very clearly like keeping some distance. Is holding her rifle in what is more of a embrace than a actual military hold, and just kind of standing back, not like looking in the direction of the group, but more through them and very pointedly not at the dead body.
Whereas Sylvia's like priorities are, oh, we don't want to ruin the lovely upholstery of your carriage.
Yeah, the upholstery. That's
Sylvia and Justine, you can give me awareness rolls.
Oh, that was a 1.
Well, Justine, what'd you get?
19.
Okay, so you notice, and Tito also notices Annalise's demeanor, Annalise's mood. Okay, you pick up on it. Okay, because Annalise, you're not actively trying to hide it while not being overly expressive. You're also not.
Yeah, there's a very clear stiffness of like
exactly,
not actively breaking down, but like not
so,
right.
So Justine notices it, and you can tell because he's standing quite close to you. Tito picked up on it as well, but Tito picked up on it in that way of somebody who's clearly got lots of experience, has seen lots of things, and is like isn't making a deal of it because he knows what you're going through, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
so-
you see there's like a moment where she kind of blinks, unstiffens, and just starts to fiddle with her gun, just
yeah,
reloading magazines, checking over the parts.
yeah, of course, yeah. Going
Doing
through
something.
them.
Nito, have you faced a vampire before? Remind me. You said you hadn't.
No. I faced various things. The roads can be quite dangerous, but not a vampire.
Well, you can add it to your list.
I suppose, yes. Also, you see him putting his sword, which he'd had in his hand, back into. He clearly has a goblin purse of his own pouch on his belt. Justine, give me an intellect roll, and Annalise, give me an intellect roll.
That's not great. 5 total.
And you can add memory, Justine.
I'm not the cleverest.
Then it's 30-20.
Okay. So this is not your area of expertise by any stretch of the imagination. But apart from Madame Gautier, you're like probably the most educated person in this room right now. Like, let's be honest. And looking at Tito's sword, it's very, very strange. It's a short blade, about maybe 50, 55, maybe somewhere between 50 and 60 centimeters long, straight, double-edged, okay? It doesn't have like straight bar quillions or a cup like you'd see on a rapier or a cup like you'd see on a saber. Rather, the quillions are small round bulges that just curve up from the handle. And looking at it, Justine, it reminds you of an ancient Roman gladius, except as I've already said, the blade is not made of metal. It appears to be made of bone or fang or horn of some sort. So with that unnatural 20, you're looking as like, that looks like the swords they used in ancient Rome. Because you would have seen a couple of pictures of them, and you would have seen in some statues and the likes. We know what the gladius was. There are ones that have survived in museums. So you're like, it looks like a gladius, which is just.
I thought it was a Bronze Age sword.
No,
myself,
yeah,
just
well,
based on your
so
description.
Yeah, so you're like, this is like, that is so bizarre. You're thinking, okay, this must be magical because that's the only explanation why. Well, it's clearly magical because it's got a blade made of ivory or something. So
Yeah. Well, Justina's not going to mention anything right now because there are just like more important topics for the conversation. But she's going to remember that, and she's probably going to have a chat with Tito about his sword.
Yeah, cool. Okay, super. So, you hear his footsteps and you see Jerome coming in. He looks at the body and says, Madame, will I get the luggage case? And he says, wait, Jerome, please. And he says, d'accord. And he goes off. He comes back with a pretty big luggage case. He's like, it's tough. Mina goes up to help him carry the thing because it's quite big. And he opens it up and there's some blankets inside. So he takes them out, wraps the body in it, puts it in. He wraps the head, goes to put it in, and just says, no, the head will be with us. And he says, d'accord. And like the piece of wood is still stuck in the bleeding had stopped, but the stake is still sticking out like a good 40 centimeters from the chest of the Baron. Okay. These are all bundled into the carriage. And he does go, Madame, what about the other? And she, oh yes, of course. I'd forgotten about him. And goes over to the butler. Casts detect magic again, and she goes, "Oh, interesting. Well," and she reaches for the dagger that he had, and takes the sheet that was on his belt and puts it into it. And she's also collected up the other items and the sword as well, and brings everything. Let us go, my friends. Let's go. And directing us all to go back into her carriage.
How's Aminata looking now?
Aminata is looking a bit grotesque. So they're essentially walking out of this church in a blood-soaked gown.
Okay,
Tito,
but I'm more.
yeah. No,
I'm
but
more mean from the perspective of like, we basically murdered your boyfriend.
They look visibly distraught, but also they look. It's a mixture of distraught and angry.
Okay, Sylvia is gonna go up to you and she's gonna just be kind of. I know that was hard, but I'm glad that you chose us.
I'm so sorry that I did not act earlier. I've never, well, that is not true. I have been in very few situations where I've had to risk losing somebody in such a manner, and I thought the first time it happened, that was the only time it would happen, and now it was. I'm usually a lot more controlled. I'm usually a lot more methodical in these scenarios. You've all seen it. I'm just ashamed that I let my feelings get to me once again. So
We are all in control until we are not anymore. And I know how I come across, but I am not going to judge somebody ever for freezing, not for being guided by their emotions in a situation like this. You know my history, so I am not.
How subtle are you being having this conversation with Aminata? Are you being quiet and whispering? Are you speaking in a normal tone of voice?
I'm speaking in a kind of a low voice, and I've kind of fallen into step with her, and I'm just kind of saying, just in a sort of.
Okay. Annalise, can you give me an awareness roll, please?
Can I do it with disadvantage as I loudly unwrap a dark chocolate?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
That's going to be -5 to your roll.
Well, I've just rolled a 5, so that's what I get. All right, 5 was the lowest. 90, yeah, so it was 0 total.
Okay.
Right. Oh, well, awareness.
You do have pretty high awareness. You're a gunslinger. You've got like
good awareness.
3 or something, don't you? 3 or 4?
Yeah, plus keen eyes.
This would be keen ears. This would be keen ears.
Yeah, it's a 3 total.
Okay,
from a 0.
You do not hear anything Sylvia just said. You do not hear most importantly, you do not hear Sylvia saying, I would never judge somebody for freezing.
Oh, that's great. That would have been nice to
I know. I know. You okay, honey?
Well.
Susie, you okay?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I actually my laptop battery is starting to run down.
Okay, you do your thing. Okay, so
okay, I'm good. Sorry.
Super.
Right.
No,
so
very
that
good.
little bit of potential
it started going dark, and I was
that's
like,
why I was asking. Okay, that's why I was asking. Okay,
yeah.
So Sylvia's she's like, I would never judge someone for freezing in a situation like this, and I am never going to judge them for running.
Oh, I honestly, I thought that we'd all run. I'm glad that we didn't, because at least now it is, well, mostly over. We still need to burn him, but I'd never judge anyone to run. I encouraged it. I'm never the one to freeze. I'm always the one with the plan. I'm always the one who acts. And of course, when I need to, I fail because of some stupid notion of love and affection.
Love isn't stupid. Love is not a stupid notion.
Okay, well, maybe it is not stupid, but for me it is most definitely unlucky.
Look, people are, you see the person who is always in control, always knows everything and has everything planned out. There is always a time when that falls away. And when it falls away, how you behave in that moment, that is how you truly, that is what says the most about you. You did not run, and we have killed him. So this will heal, and I know it is hard, but you will learn to live with what has happened.
So yous all bundle into the carriage, okay?
And Annalise is like, nom, 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 nom.
And Josephine turns to Mina and says, I'm very sorry, my dear, but we must return to my house as quickly as possible. And Mina, white knuckles tight around the haft of Albert, goes, I understand. As Jerome cracks the reins and the horses start to go at great speed, and using the enchantment of this wondrous carriage, it leaps from shadow to shadow, cutting across the city in the most disorientating fashion imaginable. I don't think you've ever experienced this, Annalise. Some of the party have experienced this before, and you see Mina is trying not to throw up in the carriage as it literally jolting and jumping from shadow to shadow. And what should have been the 20, maybe 25-minute carriage ride is done in under 5 minutes as the carriage slowly comes around in front of Madame Gautier's fabulous townhouse. And Mina quickly shoves past you all, out the door. I'm going to roll for them.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's a 6.
They thunder everywhere.
Over in a corner, hurling beside a big pile of horse shit, because this is the 19th century and the cities were full of horse shit. Okay. So yeah. And after
Sylvia's just she's like giving her space, but she's looking over at it. She okay? Yeah, all right, cool. I won't go.
And after a minute, wipes the back of her mouth with her, or wipes her hand with the back of her mouth with the back of her hand, and like, oh, so I'm okay, and goes over to help Jerome carry the large luggage case that holds the body of the Baron, and they lead it up. And then when you get to the very top level, the top landing of the house, all right, come up and around, and on the entire front section of this, and there's a single door, and you can, and Josephine says, I'm sorry, but you will need to wait. There's protective wards from a laboratory. Gwyn was able to come in, and Jerome obviously can, but I would need to deactivate. It'd just be simpler if you just all waited here. The door will stay open. You will see everything that is happening, of course, as Jerome comes with her, and they bring the luggage case over to a furnace that is built into one wall.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is it possible before they do that, Aminata is going to ask Madame Josephine and say, Madame, I know you searched for items that had considerable power. By any chance, was there anything smaller and a bit mundane on his person?
Money?
A ring?
All the rings he had were enchanted. We will discuss them once we've disposed of the body.
Oh no! I did not mean like an enchanted ring. I meant more of a wedding ring.
No.
I
did not see it. But this is the problem, Aminata. That circular weave, that is some sort of a goblin purse. I have never seen its like before, but we all saw him pull the sword from it. Now, a traditional goblin purse is made of leather. It is a pouch. Okay. And if you want to take an object from it, you simply think of the object, you put your hand in, and you remove it. If you want, you can empty the contents of a goblin purse by simply inverting the pouch, and all its contents will spill on the floor.
Yet there's no pouch on that one itself.
So I do not know if such a ring was inside this greater circlet of holding, or whatever it is. So you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he did not perhaps have such an object on him, but if it was inside this, I do not. It will take some study before I will hopefully be able to ascertain how to uncover the contents that are in this.
I
This
do
is-
know someone who I might potentially be able to ask.
Where?
I was actually going to visit them anyway. My intention tomorrow was to go.
You know a
Um,
professor of the arcane or some...
no, but we know a very powerful and magically gifted elf
Oh, of course, the
who
elf.
gave
Oh,
us. She is the one
yes.
who gave
She
us
gave, of
the
course,
solar
yes.
grenade. I
What was her name?
intended to
Lady Moraine.
Moraine.
Yes.
I was going to travel there to thank her and also give her a gift.
Definitely. That
Um,
solar grenade was quite... I am convinced that made a significant change, because looking
Actually-
at the way the battle transpired, I am convinced that the solar radiant damage that he suffered in the initial opening volley affected his regenerative abilities, at least for the first moments of the fight. He did not start regenerating until several moments after that exposure to radiant energy.
Well,
If
there was
I'm-
also your box.
Same thing, but nonetheless, as I'm saying, it's those radiant energies obviously were far more. They were the energies. The damage was even more considerable than I was expecting from these devices. But yes, if you were to bring that to Lady Moraine and
I
ask her
was
to
hoping,
examine it, of course,
actually, I
yes.
could ask your advice. I was thinking, because she is a very fancy lady, I was going to purchase some perfume.
I can recommend a perfumery for you, my dear. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk
will-
about this later. It's
No,
not it's immediate. but
I can recommend a perfumery for you.
Thank you.
Paris has some of the finest perfumeries in the world.
So I have heard. I know that certain well, I know about
No,
scents
we
and
can
flowers,
discuss
but-
this. Okay,
Yeah.
Jerome, let's go. And he's already dragged the luggage case over to the furnace, and he's like, "This is gonna be, And this is the weird thing that you see happening, because like this is a body that they're trying to fit into a furnace. Now it's large enough, but it's not massive, you know.
Mm.
Dismemberment.
But
love
We're
it.
going
what
to
he
have
does
to.
is he goes and he picks it up and he starts trying to push it in, and it starts going in.
Oh,
The body
okay.
has this bizarre malleable quality to it that allows him to actually, he should not have been able to, as if there was no bones in the body, force the entire body in to this furnace. It's quite grotesque looking. when
Yes,
you
no,
see it.
in the run up to this, I was actually doing research into Bulgarian vampires, so this is all like, oh, cool, okay.
And they also take the head, unwrap it from the now blood-soaked blanket, put that in, and then throw the blanket in as well. And then Josephine closes the door, traces her hand on some arcane runes that are engraved, etched into the furnace. And as she does, they immediately glow red, and a flame appears inside the furnace. Quite an intense flame. I will leave this for, well, there will be nothing left. This furnace rivals anything in the most powerful foundries of any factory in Europe.
Okay.
It is necessary in my line of work to have access to such things.
Okay.
Okay, that's rather useful.
Sylvia is taking a step back from the furnace because.
Well, you're not in there. You're at the edge of the room. Remember, looking in. She'd asked you
okay.
not to come in. But I said,
yeah.
okay. Sherry's? Or should we? Or she kind of looking at Amanada as she says this, and like, should I say this or not? I'm going to say it. Champagne to celebrate Amanada's freedom from a ancient, blood-sucking, monstrous spellcaster.
There's a lot of qualifiers on that, yeah.
Would you have anything potentially stronger than?
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Absolutely.
do you have absinthe?
Sylvia had
Of course I
whiskey,
have
but you
absinthe.
drank my start.
I
Of course, I have
will.
absinthe, please.
I will take as much of that
I
as
have
possible.
I have a bottle freshly arrived from Bohemia.
Oh, please. And merci.
Yes. So you all go down to the drawing room. She lays the various rings and that, and there's a sword down on the coffee table in front of you. And a moment later, a somewhat sleepy looking maid, because it's like after 1 a.m, it's like 1:30, 1:45. With like they're not even wearing their uniform, they're just wearing their dressing gown. Comes in with a tray, and she has some glasses of champagne, she has some sherry, she has a glass of absinthe, and then there's a small saucer with sugar, spoon, and there's a little candlestick as well.
Beautiful.
And
Amanata
lays everything out.
is going to thank the maid and start preparing the absinthe.
Yeah. Okay. So you get your Josephine, just gesturing with her hands, magically lights the candle, and you get your sugar in the tablespoon over the flame, caramelizing it, mixing it in, and then, and Josephine has picked up a glass of champagne. Here's to not dying.
Here's to not an eternal life, I suppose.
Though some of my friends have described their marriages to their husbands as like an eternal torture with a blood-sucking demon.
I think the trick there is to marry someone you don't hate.
Or keep an axe handy.
Yeah.
And congratulations, Justine, on landing the killing blow, my dear.
Yes, Justine. Thank you.
I just got really angry. And Justine is just going to like melt down.
Yeah, that magic is sometimes fueled by emotion, so yeah, that would explain.
So, these items, as you all know, we have this strange, and it's like, as I say, it's like it's a perfectly circular ring of silver wires knitted like think of the outer edge pattern of a doily. You know what I mean? Making that closed ring. It says, "This is some sort of." It's some sort of goblin purse, but clearly not a purse, and clearly not made by a goblin. Honestly, some of these items, this one here, and she points to the obsidian one, I've made something similar before myself. It is if Amanata, if you did not already have a legendary ring of invisibility, I would say this would be perfect for you, to be honest. This ring, it is, well, it's quite useful. It's called the Ring of Shadow Jumping. There's a spell called the Shadow Jump. Those who know magics from the Sphere of Twilight can learn it. It's a spell which allows you to use shadows as portals, moving from one to the
next. Like your carriage.
Yeah, wait, it's the exact same enchantment as is in my carriage. This ring holds that spell.
Ooh, well, that sounds...
It is a very rare item. That's 3 power points.
No, Amanata is thinking in terms of like, would I give up invisibility to be able to do that?
Yeah, they're both cool. Another level or 2, and you can have both. So this sword, this dancing sword, is quite remarkable.
Now that is something I.
This I've heard stories of swords like this from myth and legend. It is a legendary item. A +2
power
sword.
Points.
It is a +2 sword. That the user can use it to attack once per turn at any target within 10 meters of them. It uses the owner's modifiers for their attack with an additional +2, and does 1d10 +5 points of damage. And it also completely ignores any type of mundane armor, and magical armor and natural fey armor is halved.
Can Amanada just pick up the sword and just kind of like test its balance and just kind of like swish it through the air a bit
So
just to
it
see
is
how it
perfectly
feels?
wonderfully balanced, but it is a lot bigger and heavier than you are used to. You have trained with, small swords and, or not small sword, with small swords and the likes. This is a long sword.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
long sword. Okay, that was going to be my next question.
This is
Yeah.
a long sword. So you're talking like the small swords are normally 700, maybe 800 grams.
Mhm.
This is about 1.5 kilos.
Um,
So it's like it's perfectly balanced. It's
Yeah.
not, could easily be used, but is so completely,
out of my like
totally alien to what you are used to with your fencing training.
yeah. Like I can definitely see the cogs working. Like, how much training would I need to go through to be able
This
to
one
use
is
this?
legendary, though, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, like literally, they would happily train for years if
Yeah.
Madame would hold it for them to be like, I have a sword that can dance.
So now this ring here is quite rare. I have never seen one of these in my life. I've only ever heard stories of them. This is called an alicorn ring. This ring is made from the horn of a unicorn.
Okay.
Yes. If you wear it, it grants you complete immunity to any poisons or venoms, natural or magical.
Oh.
Not only that, you are automatically aware of any poisons or venoms in your vicinity, and your own fortitude is greatly enhanced to resist both magical and natural disease. So, complete immunity
Wow.
to all poisons and venoms. You are immediately aware of any poisons or venoms within a 15-meter radius, and you gain a plus 10 bonus to fortitude tests against diseases.
Wow.
Yes.
That is quite the
Yeah.
the ring.
Oh yeah, as you said, this is made from like unicorn horn is like unicorns are so rare. Virtually none live in the mortal realm. They normally exist solely in the Fey realm, and sometimes they will venture into forests in the mortal realm for brief periods of time before returning to the Fey realm. So
There was a third ring, wasn't there?
there is the
There
final
was-
one.
There was
This
a ring.
ring in the shape of a dragon.
Yes.
This is the ring of the worm.
Oh.
So if you were to wear this, you become immune to fire, all forms of fire, magical or mundane, including the breath of a dragon.
Sylvia just goes
It
completely
will
fucking ashen.
also make you immune to poisons and venoms, because many dragons' breaths are poisonous. And if you find yourself being engulfed by the flames of a dragon's breath, this ring will absorb that fire, and you can then release it as a cone. So, immune to all fire, both mundane and magical, including the fiery breath of a dragon, also makes the wearer immune to all poisons and venoms. If the wearer is engulfed by a dragon's breath, they can spend a minor action to absorb the flames. The ring can absorb up to 80 points of damage. The wearer can then, as a major action, expend the stored flame as a cone of fire, 10 meters long, 5 meters wide at the apex, doing the damage that was, absorbed to any creature within the area. Creatures in the cone can attempt a dex check versus a target of 23 to half the damage.
Yes, that's powerful, but how often are you going to run into dragons?
Don't
It's-
ask that question
It's
ever.
not necessarily the dragons, but Sylvia, it sounds like it was made for you.
It, would have been very
It would have
useful
been
us
very
to-
useful before, yes. But
Right.
now,
I don't intend to meet a dragon again.
no, but we've
When did you meet her?
we've come across fire. Unfortunately, a number of times.
Don't forget
know.
Monclerc. He loved using fire.
Exactly. This
And I'm not good with fire, I know, but I'm trying to.
No,
get-
you are trying, yes, but this is great. This is good for you. That is, of course, if you're interested in it.
Well,
but-
in theory, I would need to look at the things that I carry right now.
So do you have a goblin purse on you?
I do not.
So you have the mana receptacle and the bracelet of armor, yes?
Yeah, so I'm
So
1
you're-
point.
So the mana receptacle is very rare, which is 3 points.
I know, yeah.
And then the bracelet of armor is rare, which is 2 points. So yes, that's
I know, yeah, that's
5 points.
I know, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so
So and you said that we leveled up.
you did level up. So you're now at 10th level. Unfortunately, so if you took this ring, it I'm not saying you can't wear it, but its enchantments will not become active.
yeah,
currently. Unless you were to get rid of one of your other items.
I probably will get rid of the bracelet
Okay.
because mana receptacle is mana receptacle.
Yeah.
So I could in theory, but that's a legendary item, so I don't know
is.
how okay the rest of you are with me taking it, but it would be really nice for the pyrophobic to have an immunity to fire.
Well, there
Yeah,
is a reason why I thought it would be perfect for you.
Yeah.
Some
Sylvia
sort of safety
is-
blanket.
Really upset by this, though. You could see she's really impressed, but also there's an anger there of
This is
You
very
know-
poignant.
why did I not have this last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of this is
You could have
Oh.
saved. Yeah. You and
Yeah.
your wife could have been saved. It's that simple. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
basically yeah.
This is right. It's just okay. Well, so I agree, Sylvia. This ring seems to be destined for you. We have the ring of shadow jumping, the Alicorn ring. You are going to bring this. I do not. What should we call this?
Disc of I
A ring of hoarding, perhaps.
I suppose there could be a
yes.
horde inside.
Yeah. Okay. So
But-
you're going to take this ring of hoarding to Lady Moraine to see.
Then if are the rest do the rest of you agree?
Well,
I don't,
it
I don't
is-
want to do anything without agreement of the party. This is potentially a very powerful item, and
Oh, it is. I can tell you now it is. I am one of the most brilliant arcane minds in Paris, which means I am one of the most brilliant arcane minds in Europe. She is an elf who, according to your stories, was gifted in magic even for an elf.
yeah, she has.
So, no, please.
you see her
please.
creations.
Please.
The two of you.
Those moving
Yes.
machines were
Yes.
incredible.
No. So we still have this ring of shadow jumping, the Alicorn ring, and the sword. Who would like which? And I will say I would like one of these items as well.
Well, as far as I have known in my life, I already have some sort of defense against poisons and toxins, so I don't have to
Very good.
really. Comes with the bloodline, I guess. I'm, this was only my first adventure with all of you. Please don't mind me.
No,
Mean is like, I have my Albert back. It's like, I have Albert back. My precious.
Oh, shiny. Oh, precious.
Nina's very happy to have Albert back.
No, as somebody who jokes about having emotional support knives, like I can empathize with Mina right now.
Justine, is there anything that's appealing to you?
Oh, sorry. There was also the mana receptacle.
Oh yes, the mana receptacle. I saw Paulina's eyes glow, shine when that was mentioned. Actually, never mind.
More
Um,
receptacles.
Can I carry more mana receptacles, Neil?
Oh, you will know, but you'll know that I said this to Susie. For the final published version of the game, I'm including a line stating that each player can have only one mana receptacle on them at any time, regardless of type.
well, we
But
don't.
that is not a
But that's
rule
on
in our
release.
current game.
Yeah.
But that will be an official rule in the final published version of Fair.
So I can have a third mana receptacle, right?
Yes, you can.
Can I have mana receptacle?
This is a permanent mana receptacle.
Amazing.
So
How much mana does it hold?
holds 30 like your other one, okay?
Well, you can see Aminata is trying to. It's struggling with their words. They start saying something and then they stop and then they start and then they stop again and they're just like, they really seem to be kind of like having a bit of a battle with themselves about should they want anything of his or should they not.
Ooh.
Like
that's
something to remember by or just leave it all behind. That's tough.
Yeah, or do they want something to remember how badly this could have fucking gone? Or do they want something because they did lose something? They did lose somebody who was important to them, even if it was for a short amount of time.
So lesson learned either way.
True.
Can't lose a memory. Well, you can, but
yeah, but memory over shiny.
Big shiny sword.
Exactly.
Cool.
I don't have to use that. I can mount it.
You can just mount it. Yeah, just put it over your fireplace. It's cool.
While this discussion is happening,
there's no discussion happening.
No,
like,
this is all in the brain. You should mount it on your fireplace. That'd be great. Where's my accent gone?
Yeah, you can just see, like, you can see them. They're looking at the sword, but they're like, should we wait until the ring of hoarding is emptied? Like, these are just all the questions that are going through their head, but they are getting through this absinthe quick.
We don't have to decide all of this now.
Yeah, they're still coming out of the firefight.
Whoever has a goblin purse can store these things for now, and we can have a discussion when we have slept and are less injured.
Yes. That makes perfect sense. Speaking of sleep, Madame, would it be possible for me to bathe and change?
Of course. Here, Tito says, "Oh, sorry, I meant to give this to you, Ernie. Hand you a comb."
Come on, yes.
I think there's something a little more.
Oh, I mean,
ritualistic
for
about
no, of course, but for the dress.
Yes.
Yeah, for the dress.
Aminata is going to, like, just kind of comb a bit of their hair, which would have gotten a bit tangled in the blood.
But this is the thing, because this is a magical comb of cleanliness. It doesn't matter what curl type you are; it will always go through it.
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah,
always.
The historical unbrush.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I think it's magic. I tell you.
I actually do think it would probably be the most.
That is the most fantastical thing I've heard about in this game.
Especially for any black woman, this is the greatest magical item ever invented. So yeah, so you brush, and all of the blood just like it's like it breaks apart and disappears from your hair, from your face, from your hands, and most importantly, from your fabulous dress, because that was not coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
priorities.
Like seeing how clean I am, you're actually gonna start seeing like Amanada's hands are starting to tremble.
Yeah.
And they just like
I can arrange a bath for you.
Is there Madame, do you have a courtyard? I need some air. And you can see that they're
Yeah.
struggling to breathe and they're like pulling at their stomach and
she gestures with her hand, and a bell rings, and Jerome comes in and says, Jerome, please lead Aminata outside to the gardens. And it says, D'accord, madame. And he leads you outside this beautiful enclosed garden that's outside. You've never been in before, because like, why would you, you know? Absolutely beautiful. There's a fountain, there's several marble benches, there is topiaries, there is rambling roses. It's there's a very high wall, so it's super private. It's just wonderful. Like, this is a place where you would be like, I could just be lost here for hours with my book, you know.
Cool. Amanada I'm gonna go and find somewhere like probably the darkest corner they could find right now and just like curl in on myself and just be there.
Yeah, no, cool. So while Amanada's gone, Josephine turns to the rest of you. So there's the ring of shadow jumping, there's the Alicorn ring, there's the sword. Which of these items do you feel that you as a party will want to take?
I think Justine has her mana receptacle.
Mm.
She doesn't really mind. She probably is going to like quietly slip out and try to look for Aminata and just like sit next to her.
Yeah.
Not talk, just like, I'm here if you need to talk. And just maybe have like hand in her hand and just sit together in darkness.
Yeah. You sit down beside her, your hand on her hand, and you feel the shifting of weight as Anklegon climbs down your arm and then just licks the back of Amanada's hand.
Oh.
So right now, Sylvia is starting to get really worried about Gwen. And she's going to kind of, like, while all of this is happening, she's just taking out her Arcanagram to see if there are any messages. Hoping that maybe Gwen has left a message or something.
No.
But in that case, she's going to sit down and she's going to write her something.
Of course. Yeah, you write your letter.
I had actually written something.
If you want to share it with chat, by all means, we love these letters.
Because, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Can you just bear with me? Because I did. As
Actually,
I said,
I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and when we get back, we're going to hear Sylvia's letter.
Oh, cool. Okay, because I did actually write.
Yeah, no. When we get back, we're going to get Sylvia's letter. Okay, so 5 minutes,
I
folks.
I love doing this shit. So.
Yeah. 5-minute break, folks. Don't go anywhere. Okay, let's do it. Hello, folks, and welcome back to Feyarth, our indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures and folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. We return now to our heroes in the home of Madame Josephine Gautier, recovering after a rather brutal and nearly fatal battle with Baron Ivan Stratsmir, an ancient vampire and 20th level sorcerer. Aminata has had to take some moments to themselves out in the dark of Madame Gautier's garden, being accompanied by Justine. Sylvia, worried about their beloved friend Gwyn, who disappeared in the battle, has now just pulled out their arcanogram to send them a letter. And you're
Because I
going to
don't
share-
have. Okay, so I'm just. Sylvia's handwriting's not particularly good, but she's just going to say, "Dear Gwyn, I saw you run out during the fight, but I thought at the time that you had run to Madame Gautier when you disappeared out the window, I saw the first terrible strike hit you, and I thought for sure you were lost to us. The first thing you must know is that the Baron has been killed, and we are all safe, but we almost lost Aminata and Justine. Where did you go, though? I expected to see you outside, or maybe back at Madame Gautier's house, but you are not here. No one blames you for running, especially not me. He was an ancient vampire and a terrifying enemy. When I was in the army, I was so scared every single day, and the only thing keeping me from running away was Lisbeth holding me and telling me that everything would be all right. The only thing that matters is that you are safe. Please come back to us, Sylvia."
Right.
Is what I say. Just
Okay, so you
sign
spend.
off. Stand.
So I say you spend a minute or two writing that, and you send that off to her. And Josephine says, "I do not mean to press the matter, but we still must discuss these other items. These 2 rings and the sword. Which of the 3 would you be the least concerned with losing?"
Well, does somebody? I think if we had somebody else focused on stealth, the ring of shadow jumping seems quite good, but
Let's be
obviously
honest.
I cannot take it.
Aminata has a far more powerful ring to help with stealth.
Yeah.
It would not be. I could think of a use case for it. It could help me get into.
I was just about to say, for you to be able to move around, to move into positions of height.
You have seen, Sylvia, I am most effective at decent distance.
How the shadow jump spell works is that you enter a shadow. You can take 1 willing person with you. The shadow must be at least half your size. It cannot be smaller than that. And emerge from another shadow you can see within 30 meters. However, if you want to emerge from a shadow within a general area, but cannot see the specific shadow you will exit from, you may do so as long as the distance between the 2 shadows, the one you enter and the one you exit, is no more than 15 meters. So you could hypothetically step into a shadow and then emerge from a shadow on a balcony, as long as it's within 15 meters. But you could not enter a shadow to slip through out of a shadow in a room behind a closed door. You must still be able to
access it naturally.
See the area roughly where you will emerge.
Well, it could certainly be helpful. I have some tools to already deal with problems if someone gets a little too close, but the getting away, that's the hard part. That would not go amiss, but not to perhaps to find a point on it, perhaps it would be uncouth to presume.
Mina's looking at you confused.
To put it more candidly, perhaps, I just got here, and I get the feeling that it was a little bit more of a... I mean, I appreciate being alone, but I imagine that these will better serve all of you working together. I manage fine.
But you have greatly helped us,
Oh, well, I don't know. Simple things. I'm lucky. I'm both lucky and glad that I was able to fend off those attacks the Baron was making on Frau Aminata. It was a little close at the end there. I was worried I was going to miss a shot. But it is the least I could do, and what has been asked of me. So,
Sylvia, what are you thinking? You're like, no, I think, let's give the Ring of Shadow jump to Annalise.
I'm thinking it seems like, Sylvia's thinking tactically.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's basically thinking, ooh, ranged fighter who can move around the battlefield really fucking quickly. That's really, really useful and cool. And we've already got Aminata with her super stealth, and all attacks are sneak attacks. So like,
Assassin
is just gonna-
Aminata.
this is just gonna make us like stronger. So like, yeah,
Okay, well then, Annalise.
that's what I think. But like, obviously, it's not just up to me. Like, what are the
Well, this is the thing. It's literally only you and Mina still left in the room because
Yeah, it's you, me,
Justine
Mina.
and Aminata left.
I think
Oh.
Josephine's still here, isn't she?
Yeah, but she like of the group.
She's just waiting for
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
I just don't want.
of the party. You know.
I hate. Okay. That's
Like, does a decision have to be made then and there?
Well, yes, in that
he's pushed.
Josephine is
pushing.
saying, I want one of these items. So you guys need to tell me which
She's
ones you're
pushing
keeping.
for a decision to
So
be made
that's
right now.
yeah, a decision doesn't need because she's saying, look, I deserve an item too. I was in the fight.
Well,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so she's giving you guys first pick, and she will take whatever you don't take.
I'm gonna reach out and tap a finger on the sword and just say, I think regardless of what happens with the 2 rings, this stays with the group. I don't know. I get the feelings that Frau Aminata might have designs for it, might not, but that might be their decision to make when they're more able to make that decision. So really, I think this is a question between these 2 rings. I don't know if you both agree with me on that, but that was the vibe I was getting.
Oh, Aminata most certainly had their eye on the sword, but I think that the Ring of Shadow Jumping might be the best one, but for us to take, I think it might serve us well. But
I mean, have you all run up against poisons and disease too often? Or
Mina, for instance, as well. I was fighting some Tatzelvern a while back home.
yeah, that
their breath is quite venomous.
Yeah, it's a cloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm familiar, distantly familiar, but yeah. Okay, well, I will concede to the both of your more experienced natures.
I mean, it's like, okay, you think Aminata might like to keep the sword. Sylvia, what do you think?
I think that I do think that currently I think the Ring of Shadow Jumping would serve us best, but
well, that's for Annalise. We still have to pick the Alicorn ring or the sword.
I think
I mean,
Aminata does want the sword, but they will need training, I think.
But it could just as easily be mounted in her, what I hear is a very nice home. Or, even we could take it and they could decide if they don't want it.
That then leaves the Alicorn ring.
Yeah.
Which Josephine says, which I would then take.
If this is okay for you.
Of course, I'd be very happy to take this item. It's a quite legendary and rare item.
All right.
I suppose that's how it shakes out then.
Well,
Sylvia, you don't have a goblin purse, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
I could. I have one, but I don't know where you're all going next, so I probably shouldn't be the one carrying around.
Well, all of our things are in the hotel, we will be going there tonight, so.
Okay, then we could just take it with us and keep it in the room, and then in the morrow we could ask what Aminata wants to do with the sword.
Exactly, I think, and I do think that all things considered, with how upset they are, it might be something that they can take comfort in, hopefully. Like, sorry we killed your boyfriend. Here's a sword, though. It's really pretty.
Yeah, you didn't get a wedding ring, but you did get a sword,
which is pretty cool. You melt it down, make a new ring.
Like,
I mean, ask a woman what would she rather have, a ring or a sword?
I know.
Why not both? Why not both?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Both.
Bed the ring in the pommel.
Both is good. No, well, if I can get this that bag open, there might be a ring in there. In which
Who
case,
knows?
that
Who
would absolutely
knows
go to
what?
Aminata.
Who knows what is in his ring of hoarding?
Yeah, okay. Well,
What's
in
in the
that case, I
box?
suppose, Frau Gautier, I suppose the Alicon ring appears to be yours.
Wonderful. She goes, I'm just going to go out for a moment to Aminata.
Yeah,
And
I
she
think
gets
so.
up, leaves you guys to chat and have some more champagne or sherry or whatever you want. And you guys do hear the sound of a woman's footsteps as Josephine comes out into the garden. It is quite dark and she is mundane. She is not fey touch, so she has a small arcane globe of light in her hand to illuminate the way for her as she comes up to you both and says, Aminata, if you want,
Oui, madame.
I can send a message to the hotel asking them to have a bath ready in your room when you return, or I could arrange for a bath here.
Maybe maybe back. I don't know. Are the others? They're probably tired. They probably want to get some rest. So maybe the hotel would
We
make
are
more
all
sense.
tired.
Yes. So the hotel will do just fine. Tito, let me borrow his combs. So I am for
Yes, but you look like you
technically
need a
clean.
no. You need a bath. You need a long, hot bath to forget yourself in.
Somehow I do not think that will be possible, but
Hmm.
I will do my best.
Okay. Well, I will send a message to the hotel, and Jerome will, once you are all ready. I'm not saying you must leave right now, but you do look like you all need your
Oh,
rest.
no, madam, you need to rest as well. I can just as easily lick my wounds in the bath at the hotel. Thank you so
Hmm?
much. I'm sorry.
No, no.
Did you you got something? Yes.
I have the Alocon ring,
Oh, ah,
but with you, the group kept the sword and the ring of shadow jumping, and of course, Justine has the minor receptacle.
okay. Yes. Madam, thank you.
Hmm?
I know. I know Gwen is Gwen has is not she must have run and I do not blame her, but you have far stronger magics. You will let us know if she returns here or if she is in touch. We
I will make sure if she wishes to contact you, I will make sure to facilitate it.
we merci.
Mhm.
Uh we should go.
Well, so she like walks with you back to the house, and he's kind of get round you all up, and Tito comes out with you because he's not coming back to your hotel, obviously, and he says, "Thank you all for an interesting night."
Tito, I could they
How's he looking? Health wise.
Fine.
Okay.
Like he took a couple of pretty heavy blows, but he's fine.
Mein
Probably,
Gott,
like Sylvia can kind of tell by looking at him. He'll sleep off. He'll be fine in a day or two, like kind of thing.
yeah.
Sylvia, give me an awareness roll.
Oh no, not the way I've been rolling.
Keen eyes.
Oh, for God's sake! That's like a 9.
He seems grand.
10.
He seems fine.
Yeah.
So Justine is going to kind of approach him a little bit and kind of stands just like kind of discreetly next to him, like, nothing's happening. And then she's going to like poke him a little bit with her elbow and be like, "It's a nice sword you have there."
Yes. I've had it a long time.
I can tell for a very long time, hey?
Can how would could Aminata try and like kind of scan since they've had a bit of a quiet time.
Yeah,
just kind
of course.
Scan
You
the
you
rest of
have
the
you
place.
have absolutely you've recollected yourself enough that I will allow you to start doing awareness rolls and stuff again. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
100%.
I'm scanning everybody.
She's back. Or they're back.
Time to assess.
Nice.
You don't have behavioralists, you have conversationalists.
Yeah. But that was a good roll.
The insighty sort of.
That's
you
the
know,
insight skill.
Okay, so that is an 18 with keen eyes.
Okay, so what are you trying to ascertain with this roll?
So I want to. Oh, actually, could I use my? I know this may be a slight flexing of this particular feat, but could I use my revealing insight?
You didn't roll high enough for that to kick in.
Ah, shit.
Okay,
Okay.
no, that's exactly when you use this. That's not flexing. That's perfect use. But you just
That's
didn't roll
that's
high.
the thing. That's the thing I meant. That's the thing I meant.
However, I will say, sorry, you still have
Inspiration die.
Gwyn's. You have the inspiration die, and you still have Gwyn's amulet of fortune,
Yes,
don't you?
actually, yes, I do.
Which means that you get to add their +5 resolve
Okay, so that
to an
is
ability
a
check.
23.
What are you trying to ascertain?
I want to ascertain if anyone is hiding their true state of being right now. So are people putting on brave faces? So everybody's like, yeah, everything's all hunky dory.
Okay.
So yeah, that
No,
includes Annalise.
I'm going to say that you do get the revealing insight feat for Annalise. So just to describe this to you, Annalise, what this feat means is basically gleaning the motivations of another. So you get, well, it's supposed to be so you get an insight into the next possible action in relation to a current situation. But I'm just going to say in this context here, they're getting an idea of your state of mind and what you're probably going to be doing or feeling like next. So what is Amanada picking up off Annalise?
So presently it's quite the mix. There's a big piece of like just dwelling anxiety, which you seem to get the idea is just kind of her natural state of being.
Yeah.
But particularly more
Relatable.
so, particularly more so at the moment. There's a kind of pushing sadness almost, or like kind of a crestfallen energy as she kind of like you see as Annalise kind of eyes bounce around the other members of the group. She keeps herself close, just kind of looks a bit sad about something. Occasionally drifts over to Sylvia, and that sadness becomes concern. Looks over at you, that concern deepens into worry, and there's a hanging thought of not quite regret, but introspection, particularly about what happened during the fight.
Okay, cool.
And as for Tito, what you get off him is he's grand, but he's very much checking in on everybody to make sure everybody else is okay.
So is this gonna be a case of like it's like Spider-Man meme where he's like checking me out? I'm like, are you okay?
No, not just you. He's checking out everybody.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
I know. But
yeah.
he's like checking everybody out. But I'm
he can
I'm
tell.
definitely going to clock him.
Yeah, no, you clock him and you see him checking you out, and you know that he knows that you're not okay.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm fucked.
yeah. It's like, yeah. So
yeah,
Sylvia's basically fine, except for getting the whole ring has bothered. Getting that ring has bothered her more than anything else that's happened.
And for Josephine, I'm going to say there is a pensiveness there. There's obviously a worry there. You're assuming it's about Gwyn.
Gwyn, yeah.
And how is Justine feeling with that 23?
Justine is shooketh, but she is not like processing it, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be very traumatizing later. at the moment she is just grand. Probably she's not trying to put up a face because she just hasn't haven't thought about like what happened and what they've been through. She's probably still in a bit of like adrenaline that is like keeps her going, but it's starting to like wear her down, and she's probably going to have like not a great couple of weeks, most likely even.
Yeah.
Because that was a big one, you know. Amanada and Justine are like.
Oh
really
yeah,
good friends.
you, and also both of you came so close to die.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
close.
I wasn't healed, was I?
No, you
No,
both are
I'm-
still on one grip point.
Okay, no, that's
I
cool.
want to heal people. I'm just waiting for the dust to settle around
Yeah.
RP, and then I'm gonna
Oh.
jump in and start
Oh,
healing.
and
Well-
with your 23, you know that Mina is really happy to have Albert back.
I can practically see Mina vibrating with joy that
Yeah.
she has Albert back,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to kind of take it in. Like, I'm going to notice that Annalise is kind of feeling like I'm going to chalk that up to feeling like, okay, this is like I did the thing that I was asked to do, and they're going to chalk it up to they're probably feeling a case of, okay, well, I can't really hang around here. I'll have to move on.
Mm.
And they're going to be like, absolutely the fuck not. So they're going to kind of keep that a bit like low-key until they get into the carriage with Jerome later, but they're going to spot Justine and be like, okay, this is definitely something that's going to have to be managed. And they're going to see that Sylvia's like, yeah, Sylvia seems to be fairly okay, but they know that everyone is really worried about Gwen's whereabouts right now. And Tito says it's grand, but they know that there's no way in hell you could expend that much energy and be perfectly okay.
But this is the
Unless
thing.
you're like insanely.
He is with that 23. You're like, fuck. This guy is actually grand.
So he's actually
fuck?
good. It's not a fine.
No.
Yeah, because
He's good. He's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's gonna disturb them even more.
Yeah.
And be like, what the fuck is this dude?
Yeah, whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah, we don't want to get on the bad side of Tito.
Not a human. Not a human.
Ever. But yeah, they're going to do the usual thing and essentially vibe check the room.
Yeah, cool. So there we go. So you guys all get into Madame Gautier's carriage. Jerome,
I heal people.
Yeah, Jerome does not use the shadow jump. Okay, so we'll say during this time, Sylvia, how much mana are you spending and on whom?
So I'm out of my own mana at this point.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure in the last session I forgot to account for a couple of beast shifts.
I don't mind them.
So
of all the spells you forget to cast or charge yourself for, that one I don't care. You're a druid, it's cool.
Yeah, because it's just one of those I can do it as a minor action, so I just forget.
Yeah, so you forget. No, that's cool. You're talking like you only did that like once anyway. That's like 6 mana.
Okay, I thought I did it twice, but yeah. All right.
You did it at the very start of the fight, and then in the fight when you fell. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go. So
right.
are you using your permanent mana receptacle? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do major healing touch on Amanada and Justine, and it's 4 mana per D8. Yeah.
Yes.
If my reading of the spell is correct.
Touch D8. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do 2 each. 2 D8s each.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. 7, 5 plus. So that's 17 points for Amanada.
So don't forget you add your magic to those 2 D8s.
I know I rolled a 7 and a 5.
Okay. Cool. Right. So.
Oh, I'm afraid Justine only gets. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Okay.
So 4, 5,
She's
9.
all right.
9.
You get 9. But Amanada will get more back from the night. But yeah, you know, I'll heal people more tomorrow when I've got my mana back.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
On the way back to the hotel, like Amanado will want to sit beside Justine, but they'll also want to sit either between Justine and Annalise, or Justine to one side and Annalise kind of like in front of them. And they're going to kind of like lean forward, or lean towards Annalise to kind of indicate, like lean in. There's something I want to say, and say, you do realize that one of the first times we all met, I only knew Justine. Sylvia and the others barely knew each other as well. And we all ended up in this tiny, tiny town called Cheville. And after a couple of nights, we were effectively inseparable. And you aiding us in such a thing, you do realize that that means you are one of us. We?
Oh, I. Well, you are sharper than you seem, Frau Haminata. I suppose I had not considered the possibility. I
Can the rest of us hear this?
I'm gonna say that they're whispering. They're being kind of quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've not exactly worked with the group for a while, since I last held command. So it has been nice, and I suppose I was a little, I don't know. I would have been sad to see it go, but
And I could see that primarily because unfortunately emotions are kind of my thing, but it's very clear to see who fits in this weird tapestry that we've all made together. We are not necessarily the type of people you'd always find together, but we have, over the last few months, we've made it work because we are so different from each other. And you being in the shop that day, we've been fairly lucky with the people we've come across in that shop. We've met some wonderful people, and for one reason or another they had to leave. But if you would like to stay with us, I know I consider you part. You've shed blood for us. You have bled for us. That to me is telling in its own right. And I would be more than happy to have you join us in the future. I would be very, very happy to have you watch my back. I know when you held office, it was probably a different dynamic. You had to, in a way, keep yourself separate from everybody else. But here we all have different strengths, but together we are a unit. If you want to stay, of course.
I appreciate you making it clear. I believe I would like that. I obviously would like to hear it, ensures that everyone feels the same.
Of course.
And you see, like, since you're good with emotions, you see there is like a relief hits, and then like the worry comes back, and you quickly see she kind of rolls her shoulders and she goes, I am glad that I was able to keep especially you safe in that fight, as well as everyone else. I wouldn't want you to... At the end of the fight, you asked us to stand down, so to speak. Your
did.
friends did not.
No.
I did. I had an
And-
opportunity to take the shot, and I didn't. And I don't want you to believe that was out of respect or obligation. I did not shoot because I was terrified.
Oh,
And I understand that might be preaching to the choir. I imagine none of us were more terrified than you, in his clutches, no less. But I could have taken the shot. And I know that in myself. It would have been a twitch of his finger, and a bullet would have driven through his head. But I didn't. And I don't want you to go into a fight expecting me to always be able to be ready, to not be a coward, to take a shot when it is needed, because I cannot promise that I will not choke and give up something. I would like to think I'm better than that, but I know myself too well.
As Sylvia mentioned earlier, we all have such complex emotions, as you heard. I usually have a plan. I'm usually the stealthy one, the sneaky one, the one who's stabbing people. That is me. And you saw that I could not take my shot to do that. So if I vilified you in any way for doing something that I could not, to me that makes no sense. And the fact that you didn't take the shot, yes, but you were terrified. Gwyn was also terrified. I wouldn't judge Gwyn. I wouldn't judge you. If you all had run, I would have been happy that you would have lived for at least some more time. Genuinely, like the fact that you were there in the first place, knowing what we came up against, because you saw how Madame Gautier was that day we went to the lab, but you still chose to fight with us. That in itself speaks volumes. Yes, you might not take a shot one day, but you might take many shots. You took many shots to save my life, and I'm indebted to you for that. Truly, truly, I am, to all of you. If it wasn't for all of you, I would not be here. Here as I am now, I'd probably be something far more terrifying, but that is a nightmare for another time. But obviously, we will all have breakfast in the morning, we will rest, and I know I would be more than happy to have you watch my back, and we can all talk about it together as a unit.
I would like that. I'm technically not in Frau Gautier's employ, but I would have to, make sure she knows I want to be in town. She's been sending me around to do bits and pieces.
We freelance for her as well, so we usually
know how it is.
Exactly. So,
and you see, like, something that you've said in that sentence has cut her incredibly deeply. Like, to the edge of tears, you see they're pulling at her eye. Somewhere in there, you said something that hit her in such a close, personal place that she is doing everything in her power to not, like, let it show obviously to everyone else in the cart. And she just... Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you. I feel selfish doing this when you've had such a hard evening. How are you? I imagine it seems daft to even ask.
This managing other people's, helping other people with what they're going through in a way allows me to look at my own feelings a bit more with the kinder heart. I know I will definitely be very rough on myself for the next while, but
that is what friends are for.
Exactly. I will have all of you, and you will at least have me. So please don't. We will leave this for the night, and we will get some rest, and it will be okay. It will all be okay with time. And with that, Amanada is going to squeeze Justine's hand, and you can still feel like there is definitely a tremble there. They're not trying to hide it, but they're like, I really hope that bath is hotter than the sun right now. I need to scrub myself off.
They have heated stones. They will bring you oils and rose petals. It's wonderful.
You
Oh,
should have seen it last night. Sylvia had the whole troop coming in.
Oh, Sylvia. Then
It was late and they brought
Yeah,
me
it was
everything.
past midnight when they brought the hot water and the stones. They draw
So-
the whole thing.
The carriage pulls up in the front of the Grand Hotel, and you come into the foyer. It's obviously very quiet. There is still 2 staff there. Okay.
Mhm.
There's a bellboy, a bellhop, whatever they call.
And we look rough as hell.
Up by the
I'd
lift. You
say.
do look pretty bad. And when you come in, it's not the manager who's there. There's a very, very beautiful, extremely well put together woman says, good evening. Madame de Moreau, there's a bath ready for you now when you go up.
Merci.
Please.
Has our friend Vin Elvendale has she come in?
I'm sorry, mademoiselle. No, she has not.
There wasn't a letter. No, nothing.
I am sorry, mademoiselle. No.
Okay.
Um,
Neil, can we retrospectively say that I got that info from?
Oh
Madame
no, you
Gauthier?
did get the info from Madame Gauthier. Like,
Oh,
there was-
sweet. Okay.
no,
okay.
there's no retrospective anything. Like, there was a whole lot of conversation. So she did give you the name of 2 of. She says these are 2 of the best perfumeries in Paris.
Okay, because I
Oh no, you were not allowed to leave the house until she gave you that information.
As we hear that nothing's been left, I'm not just gonna try to not quite distract Sylvia, but to try and like ease her into something she's a bit more comfortable with, like with kind of organizing and being. Sylvia, you said that they had perfume, they had oils, and
Oh, madame, that's all up in the room for you already.
Oh well, Sylvia is the druid. She would know what herbs to use for specific things, and she knows. She probably knows what I need more than I know myself. If you could help, I'm at a bit of a loss.
Okay, well, I assume you want something for aches and pains to help you sleep and maybe relax you.
I don't know if anything could relax me, but yes. If
Lavender won't hurt you, but might help you sleep.
yes, whatever you suggest. I know you tend to know these things more than anything, and we will organize things tomorrow. I know you wanted to go see the lady.
I do. First, I need to get perfume, but Madame Gauthier has given me information. I can travel to the perfumery and I will get her something. I do want to also make her a wreath, but I can do that. I will just grow the flowers myself and weave it. It's not a problem.
Course. Well, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, could I go with you? Because obviously, like, we haven't seen her for quite some time, and I think it would be nice if we all went back for a visit. No, what do you think?
I don't have enough power to take everyone. I'm sorry.
That is fine. No, you go then. You were the one.
No, I'm saying that I can take maybe one person, and if that person is you, then fine. But I cannot take everyone.
Oh, of course.
The spell takes a certain. I can only hold the spell for 5 hours, and then we will be forced to land. I will have to cast it a second time. Okay. I will then have to basically, it costs 6 mana per time. Okay, so it'll be 12 mana there each, 12 mana back each. Okay, so I don't want to get all like number crunchy, but people are still pretty injured, and I don't like to be totally tapped out.
So just on that. So from your long night's rest, every one of you will recover grit points equal to your fortitude, plus hardiness if you have that talent, plus resolve and willpower if you have that talent, plus double your level, which is now 10.
Okay, so
I get back 21 points of health.
That sounds about right. Yeah. So
so 10 plus. Oh wait, it's double your level, isn't it?
Double your level.
Yeah. So 20.
So for you, Sylvia, that is
27 points.
27. Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh wow, I was on 36 grit. Huh.
So for Aminata, you're getting back 3, 5, 25.
Hmm.
And for Justine, you're getting back 23. Okay. So that is how much you're all getting back from your long night's rest. Okay. Not
Mm-hmm.
terrible, but if you were just healing naturally, it would take you probably 3-4 days to be fully recovered. Certainly Aminata and Justine would take about 3, maybe 4 days, you know.
Hmm.
Obviously with Sylvia being able to use her healing magic, that's going to help speed things up. It all depends on whether she wants to tap into her mana receptacles and fully use them up, or just use your own mana you get back each day.
Yeah, so I want to heal people more the next day.
Yeah.
But I want to that's why I'm saying no, I can't take 6 people to the the Truncate Forest.
You want to use that
that's-
mana to heal up, especially Justine.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly, because it's basically 12 each way. So it's 24 just for me to go there.
And you have about, what's it, you have 64 mana or something like that, isn't it?
Well, I'm about to hopefully have more than that now.
So 70 something.
Hopefully,
So,
assuming I
well,
don't
that's
fuck up my roll.
still a third of your mana.
Yeah, so it's 24 mana just for me to get there.
Mhm.
So just to put it into perspective, if I was to 24 times 6 is, or
You-
24
No,
times
yeah,
5,
you'd be tapped out.
It's more than I have.
So
So
yep.
I was going to ask. So while Sylvia is, let's say, going to the perfumeries,
That'll be all tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah.
would it be possible that so while Sylvia is doing that, Aminata would like to go and get some healing tinctures to leave for Justine while they are gone?
Yeah, sure.
Because
yeah.
obviously,
Very happy to heal people once I get back, of course.
no, I know,
you know.
but in the
but-
meantime, just to
Yeah,
they'd
absolutely.
also be anxious about Justine's health.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll be able to do that.
Just don't forget that Justine doesn't have much health to start with, so she'll probably be fine within like another long night's rest.
Yes, you will hit your max grit quicker than anybody because it's so much lower. Yeah. You're on what, 76 grit now, isn't it, since you've leveled up?
Oh shoot, did I put my max grit up? Whoops.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's a big jump from the 60 what you were on before. So you obviously rolled really well.
Yeah, I rolled max.
Nice. Yeah, you really need that.
I haven't rolled yet.
Well, actually, folks, if we want, there's like just 5 minutes of the stream left. Why not roll for grit?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay.
Well, you can reroll ones, right?
You can reroll ones. Yes.
What's my grit die again?
D10,
D10.
because you are a martial class.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Nice.
So is that's plus?
That's 3
Resolve.
plus 7. You still have a plus
so
7.
10.
Okay,
Okay.
So that brings you up to 124 grit.
Yeah, are you going to amend that for me?
I
or
just
am
did
going-
that now for you, love. Okay.
Okay.
I also
I'll
rolled
just-
a 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my mana now. Oh, I got a 3. So that's
Hey,
8 points.
The 3s everywhere.
Well,
You get a
I've rolled
3.
for my mana
You
and
get a
my
3.
grit.
Yeah.
You know what I can roll
3.
for.
5.
Sorry. Did you say you rolled for your mana?
Yeah, roll for both. So like before the stream, but you know what I can roll for.
Yeah.
A spell.
Yeah. Super. Okay.
Okay.
Aminata, what did
I've
you
just
roll?
amended that.
I rolled a 7, so that is 7 and a
Plus-
5, so 12.
Yeah, nice. Okay. All right, cool.
And I'm just going to amend my Book of Shadows.
Every roll I've done this D10 has been better than that 3.
I see, Justine, you picked your 4th level spell, Mana Drain, and Susie.
I love that spell.
Yeah. So, Susie gets as a druid, as a 10th level druid, you gain the spell Polymorph into Elemental. Okay, you learn a free. So you learn a free 2nd level spell from the Sphere of Earth. You can now cast 1st level spells from the Sphere of Earth as a minor action. You get to pick your first 4th level spell, and you also get Polymorph into Earth Elemental as a free spell. So, yeah.
I'm just amending my Earth spell knight because that's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the Polymorph into Earth Elemental is
so
2nd level.
No, it's 4th level.
Okay, sorry, I thought you said 2nd level.
I said you get a free 2nd level spell as well.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so you're
okay.
Annalise, you get a free level of training in a firearms group of your choice. Plus, everybody gets your skills, talent, or feat for an even numbered level. Okay.
You will have become more magic. I am now better at gun.
Aminata, you took the enhanced training. Okay, so basically you get another free level in a skill, talent, and feat plus the one that you get at 10th level. Okay, so you get 2 levels in skills, talents, or feats this level, which is nice. And then finally, Justine, your defense went up by 1.
Hey.
Sorry, I also get feats power. Feat or talent, right?
Oh yeah, you get that too.
Yeah. So can I choose arcane enhancement?
Ooh.
Yes, you can.
Yes. So if I'm choosing efficient caster advanced, can I choose a different sphere of magic, or it has to be the same?
No, it has to be from the same one.
That's also totally fine.
Yeah. So which one are you looking at?
So I have beginner efficient caster with this with a sphere of arcane.
Yeah. So if you want to go for advanced, that has to still be in the sphere of the arcane.
That's fine. I think I might take a look at it a little bit.
Cool. Yeah.
More.
I miss being a spellcaster, but also at the same time I don't miss it.
Yeah, and let's be honest, rogues in this system are very nice. They have a lot of very nice skills and a lot.
I decided not to go the caster rogue, and I'm not gonna lie,
it's seeping in.
Regretting it. Yeah, the regret is seeping in.
It's not actually that amazing having played with someone with it. It's not as great as it sounds.
No,
it's
but it was pretty great.
It was pretty great.
I also played with that same exact person, and it's really fucking great.
It can be fun, but I do really like the enhanced trainer archetype for the rogue because that was Neve's character last campaign, and she ended up with some ridiculous mods for her character. Like he ended up mastery level in like 5 or 6 rogue skills by the end of the game. It was crazy.
I thought Olaf was wasn't Olaf Shadowcaster?
No, he was enhanced training.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I thought he had
he had a ring of shadow jumping.
Yeah, and he had 1 or 2 spells because of his dwarven lineage, but that was it.
Yeah, he could do a couple of that was the shadow casting.
He had a ring of he had a ring of shadow jumping was what he actually had. Yeah. But he didn't. The only magics that he had were a couple of earth elemental spells from his dwarven lineage. That was it.
And he was really bad at it.
Okay, so nonetheless, it is 10 o'clock. I think this is a perfect place to pause on our story. Aminata, you spend a long time in the bath. Everybody else pretty exhausted, falling asleep as soon as your heads hit the pillow, but sleeping well knowing you are all safe and that a predator who had been hunting the party is now dead. Their ashes.
I meant to message Heinrich.
Their ashes lining the bottom of Madame Gautier's arcane furnace. So Thank you all for joining us. We shall see you here next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. But until then, good night all. Bye.
Bye.